is Laura, aka the Sound Sommelier, here with the legendary Goldie. What's your earliest memory of hip hop?
Oh God. Oh God. Jesus. I don't know. I've 37 years ago. I know. Cool G Rap and Polo EP was like a release that came out. That EP changed it for me. That was a Cool G Rap and Polo first release. That was really pretty cool.
Nice. Goldie, can you talk a bit about the art teacher who helped sharpen your innate abilities when you were younger?
Art teacher. That would be Mr. Hurst. Yes. Don't know really. I mean, he just was an art teacher that I gravitated to, and he was pretty cool. He just taught me everything about art that I wanted to know, and gave me the patience to give me the ability to believe in what I was doing.
After discovering graffiti, you became known as the spray can king of Midlands. What was it about street art that drew you in?
I don't know. I just like art. I mean, I just kept painting. I just got a reputation of painting, and that was it for me. So I got really into just following the books and looking at people that were doing a lot of stuff in New York at the time, and that was really important to me. To have a bunch of mentors really that got me through it. So I just kind of just started doing alphabets and outlines and just got into it that way, I guess. I don't know.
How did you come to be part of the Transatlantic Federation, which linked you with Brim and Bio?
TAF. It was just me and Bio and Brim, Bio, Vulcan, T-Kid. And we just I went through me in 3D for Massive Attack. I had this crazy idea of, creating this thing, TAF. When you're kids, you make all these crazy like UKF, TKF, MBK, SAP. And we decided to create this, create this crew called TAF. That was it.
Nice.
I think it was a night out, drinking out all night. We just got crunk. Yeah, that was it.
You came to NYC for the first time when you were 18. What were some of your first impressions?
Wow, pizza and brake dust from the trains. That's my first experience of the smell of the trains. That always stayed with me in New York. The smell of the trains, the smell of the underground, and this smell of 99-cent pizza.
Yeah.
99 cents a slice. 75 cents downtown.
Yeah, we still have 99-cent slices.
Well, yeah, do you really? Well, yeah, but back then it was like you could get, it was still there. It was always be that traditional thing, which I love about New York. You can still eat out for a slice, which is pretty cool.
Right. So on a subsequent trip, you spent a lot of time in the Bronx. What was it about tagging trains that amplified your love of street art?
Well, it's just I don't know. It's the movement, man. Getting up. It's all about getting up and. Painting graph. I mean, I'm still just painting my fingers. I'm still painting now. It doesn't stop. It's one of those things that graffiti stays with you like drum and bass music. It just doesn't leave you, unfortunately. Just the idea of everyone putting their name up across the city is immense. It's a beautiful thing. You just can't beat it. There's nothing like it. Yeah.
When did you become involved with Reinforced Records?
Reinforced Records. When I came back from New York the second time, I was staying in London all of the time in Camden, and I used to go to Astoria and all the little rave haunts. And I met Reinforced doing a PA at Astoria, and I met Mark Mack, and I told him I did artwork, and he gave me his number, and I called him, and I went up to Dollis Hill and showed him some artwork and redid the logo, which is still the logo today. The R is mine. It's theirs now. It's ours. Which is that logo somewhere here. It's that logo there, which I created the original artwork for. And then I started making music. I made Crisp Biscuit as the first release after that.
So Terminator put you on everyone's radar in '92 before releasing several other game changers in subsequent years, including Your City Life and Angel. How did you come to know Diane Charlemagne?
I already knew Diane Charlemagne through a soul band called 52nd Street. They were huge in the 90s. Well, yeah, kind of like the early 90s, 52nd Street were like a pretty, they came after like Loose Ends, which is another great soul band. And there was loads of British soul bands started popping up after that. And yeah, that's how I got to know Diane. And she was also involved in a project with Harry B called Candy Mountain, which is an album that never got released, signed by Ireland, never went out. And they did Candy Mountain, and I was managed by a guy called, I was managed by John Knowles, who was managing Diane at the time, and that's how we got to meet.
Nice. So Simon Reynolds was quoted in '94 saying, "Goldie revolutionized jungle not once but 3 times." How has Timeless, the album, managed to remain relevant in 2020, the 25th anniversary of its release?
I really don't know. I just, the album was always going to be called that. It was always going to be I knew it was going to do what it was going to do. People go, "Well, you're going to be surprised this time?" No, not really. It's like, I knew that this album was going to be the album. And it wasn't mainstream, but it changed. It was a game changer electronically, and has still remained a game changer. And it can be looked back on to how strongly it did change music.
Mm-hmm.
And it revolutionized electronic music in the same way that the MPC revolutionized hip hop. Moving into samplers such as the 3000, the S3000, not the 1000, the S3000, and doing stuff with samplers that no one was even thinking about, along with adding the soul of all the past 5 genres we've experienced in urban music to enhance its ability to stay relative. And yeah, I'm very proud of it.
Living up to its name.
Most definitely.
There are some tracks on the album you've referred to as the B-side babies that never received much attention but have become classics over time. Are there any that stand out to you?
Well, Sea of Tears, State of Mind. People thought I was mad. Adrift. They were outside the box, and they are powerful pieces of music now. But that's what it was about. This album was about going outside of that box.
So Pete Tong said that you come at making music like a painter. Would you agree that your process when painting or sketching is similar to when you write a tune?
100%. Before you've even finished the question, 100,000,000%. I paint this stuff all day long. Yes, music is painting to me, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, I see the color. I see sound in color completely all day, every day. So yeah, that's something that I do, which is part of the whole process of making music. It's just been one of those things that I do. It wouldn't sound the same if I didn't paint. It just wouldn't.
So you co-founded Metalhead with Chemistry and Storm in '94. What role has the label played in solidifying the legacy of drum and bass?
Well, it wasn't really Chemistry and Storm. It was really Metalhead was me and Scotty. It was always me and Scotty, and Chemistry and Storm wanted to be DJs, and of course, the idea of me wanting to do the label was just pushed by Kemi especially. But it was really about me and Scotty, and because you see, Metalheads was a dub plate label. It was the flip side. It was always the flip side label to Reinforce. It was the dub plate that I would get cut to go and play out. And on one side it would have the R, on one side it would have the Metalhead. And in the end, of course, wanted to create the label. And of course, me and Scotty bought me drums, 95, and I put Rider's Ghost on the other side, and that was the beginning of the label. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Scotty couldn't keep up with me at that point. I just carried on doing mad shit. But yeah, I mean, it was always the thing. It was always that for me and Scotty. Powerful. I mean, that first 20 releases are still, for me, revolutionised D&B on every level, every branch of this music. Whether it's what they call liquid or whether they call it coffee table, whether they call it hard step, or whatever you want to call it. From Ed Rush to Cyclone, we covered everything. Every DNA strand of the music has been covered in that first 20 releases, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, I agree. The label inspired the launch of Metalhead Sunday Sessions, a legendary club night at London's Blue Note. Can you share one of your best memories you have from that time?
On the Goldie Timeless website, which is now the Goldie 25 website, which we're doing now, doing a lot of live stuff, which is going to be some insane stuff on there. I've got documentary footage of my manager coming down. We all switched the lights on and we presented me with the album when it went gold at the club. It's like 2 a.m. It's probably 12 at night, actually, because we closed it early. but it was the idea of that could never happen in today's music industry, where you present a gold disc at an underground club and people are slapping the walls and sweat's dripping down to do that. It doesn't happen. It's the stuff of legend in that style. It doesn't. You never get that. You wouldn't get. It's like, I don't know. Could you imagine? I don't know. Someone switching the lights on in smog and presenting a gold disc of someone going gold. It just doesn't happen. It's just too. It's all organised, and it's all a bit too. We were so underground at that point. The music was so underground, and we broke the mold, and we became mainstream overnight. So yeah, that's probably my greatest memory of the Blue Note. Probably, I don't know, hearing Space Funk put in the mix for the first time with something crazy like Dark Rider or something crazy. Yeah, I mean, hearing Space Funk for the first time in that place was mental. Or any one of those epic tunes, hearing, Convoy or My Matrix or just so many tunes got broken in that club. Yeah, they're all epic nights, but the gold disc was good.
That's a really good one. So you're one of only a few artists to ever co-write with David Bowie, and you also starred together in the British independent film Everybody Loves Sunshine in '99. Can you talk a bit about when you first met, which you also describe in your autobiography, All Things Remembered?
Yeah, I mean, I worked with him, and I knew him from, when I met him, when he came down to St Anne's Court, which he'd recorded Space Odyssey there in the 70s. He had a picture of his Trilby hat on the first floor, and I was going there to see Mel Gaynor, who was in the band Simple Minds, who I bought the studio from with Rob Playford, and we moved Moving Shadow out of, Rob moved Moving Shadow, and I moved it out of Stevenage, and we created the rest of the albums there, and recorded Temper Temper there, and also Barry came down and recorded again, and went, I remember this place, I recorded here in the 70s, and I mean, even to this day, there's a Space Odyssey David Bowie plaque outside the place, you know what I mean? So, and then he went to Blue Note and enjoyed Blue Note tremendously, and I mean, it was just one of those moments to be able to do something with the great man. So, there's tales to be told.
Mm-hmm. So I read that you collaborated with Adidas to paint 12 unique images of some of Britain's most well-known Olympic hopefuls for the Games in 2012. How do you feel the athleticism exhibition at the Underdog Gallery was received?
I don't know. I mean, I just stuff like that was very graphic at the time. I mean, it was kind of like me dipping my toe back into art. It was really kind of like, but this, obviously since then a lot of stuff's happened in the art world. But I mean, it was, it was kind of like I've already had a long association with Adidas anyway. But it was a cool project,
Yeah, they came out really great. What prompted your move to Phuket in 2015?
Say again?
What prompted your move to Phuket in 2015?
Oh, I just had enough of doing interviews. No, I just wanted to retire here, and it just ended up not happening.
I don't see you as someone that's going to retire.
I came to retire, and just had good luck with that. It's a bit more peaceful. I get to pick my fights better here, and I can just get on with stuff. So I've had a very long day. I've been up since 5 a.m. It's 8:45. It's been a long day. I'm going straight to bed.
I appreciate you taking the time.
That's okay. No worries. I appreciate you, the effort you made to try and get me to do this thing. And of course, those little D&B heads I love so much. I don't know, how did this come about in the first place?
I just shot you a message to be like, hey, you want to do an interview? And you were like, sure, set it up with my assistant.
Oh, is that what I did? I know all the time people say to me, you're doing this thing. I'm like, what? Hello? How do I know you? Hello? But well, look, if I can help out and I've helped, thank you.
I appreciate it.
It's nice to know you, Wayne. Go on.
Just a few more questions, if that's okay.
That's fine.
So your third album, The Journeyman, which was released on Cooking Vinyl and Metalheads in 2017, was recorded there. Why have you deemed this your magnum opus?
It's magnum opus because, timeless will always be timeless, because it crunched when the technology changed and social conditions changed. So it will always do what it said on the tin. Drum bass is not new. It was completely new then and innovative. So even though Journeyman doesn't have that with it, what it does have is the cutting edge aspect of thorough written songs. Ask me the question in 20 years. I'm still going to be here. But Journeyman in 20 years will sound like a beautiful album that you think, shit, I missed this one. Because it is a thorough album, and it was made in the sunshine, and it was made not of coming of age, it was made of the golden age. So it's the album, you know, all the albums in between, because it's not the third album, it's the kind of, you know, there's rubbish albums in between that, but yeah, it was kind of the third Goldie album. It's the most thorough album, and it's really the blueprint of Timeless when you put it back to back with Timeless, because you go Mountains, State of Mind. You know, you look at, you know, I don't know, you look at Truth, well, you go Adrift. So it's very much, it's a mirror image, but a more thorough execution of sound and production. The production is insane on that album. And it's really, especially the deluxe model, when you listen to the instrumentals and you'll hear something like, this is not a love song. I mean, it's the most insane concept of having a duet based on the 80s with two prolific songs. It sounds like two ladies singing, but it's actually, you know, with Tyler Daly and this, you know, with Natalie Pryor. I mean, it's the most ridiculous soul tune, you know. So I actually think that the appreciation for that album won't be till another 20 years time.
I can see that. I mean, I love it now, but I can see what you're saying.
It's a great album. It's a great album.
Yeah. Can you talk a bit about, you touched on it a little while ago, can you talk a bit about the Timeless Capsule website that launched in celebration of the 25 years since the album's release?
Yeah, there's like 4 hours of Blue Note and 4 hours of footage that have gone out. There's loads of footage going out that was never seen. Backstage Bure, backstage Jay's Addiction, mad stuff going on in the US. You know, all this content's going to go up and get ripped down very quickly. It's very sporadic. It'll go up, because if you're not watching it, things will go up and just disappear after an hour. but it's all going leading towards a documentary being put together at the end of it all. And it's just to celebrate the album. There's going to be talk-throughs on the album. There's going to be like a Giles Peterson special talking through the album for 2 hours, you know, about what the tracks were about from my perspective, so people can get a better understanding of myself, of what's the design of these things. And the site's ongoing. There's a mix every week's going up. A Metalhead's mixed every week, and tunes, my favourite tunes. There's a podcast involved in it. So yeah, it's a really great model. Great idea.
Yeah. When I interviewed Bio from Tats Crew last month, he mentioned plans to come over and show at your gallery. Is it Aurum?
Aurum, yes. Now that's how this came about, through Bio. There you go. Yeah, Aurum's been a massive success even during lockdown, because Asians are going out in Asia now because there's nothing here. And it's a lot more open in Bangkok. Bangkok's back to normal, and literally lots of people going out that want to go out and engage in the gallery. It's a very successful project, and we're super happy. I've got it's basically my, you know, all of my friends that love music and art all in the same room, and it's like a museum. So I'm super happy with that.
Nice. Who are the Yo Gangsters?
Yo Gangsters, me and Kelly Isaacs. Kelly's from New York. Kelly's in New York now. She has a studio called Fierce Grace on the Lower East Side. It's a great yoga studio if anyone's down there. And Kelly's there at that studio. It's a sick studio. Yo Gangster was created by myself. I used to put letters on a shirt just to say Yo Gangster, as in post and pre. You know, used to be a bad man.
Right.
Now, you know, obviously do a lot of yoga. So it's kind of, people used to go, yoga gangster. No, it's Yo Gangster, one word. Hello. You know, straight to it, you know. And it's very clever. It's right in front of, you know, it's yoga and gangster. I'm like, yeah. And you've had silly people going, why you got associated with gangsterism? It's really bad. Oh, chill.
They don't know you exist.
Yeah, it's just crazy. But yeah, so it's pretty much that, and I love it. You know, we did a charity class last week. We do all this stuff that we love, and I love keeping myself in my old age. I think anything for anyone that does yoga is the most beautiful thing.
What have you been listening to over the last month since lockdown?
Last month on rotation, Endless Planets, Austin Peralta. The only album he made before he died. Amazing. Killer album. It's so sad when I listen to it now, but he was a good friend. I've listened to Endless Planets, yeah, and I've been listening to Timeless remasters, obviously, which has been good. A couple of really killer Timeless remixes that I've not remakes, they're not remixes, remakes on pieces on that album that I'm really into, that like I've taken a long time getting done and organized, which is going to surprise a few people. And a lot of Pat Metheny on rotation pretty much daily. I listened to The Way Up yesterday. Today I've gone back to Mignano, which is still live talking the album, which is prolific.
Goldie, what has coverage of racial violence in America looked like from your side of the world? Have you observed any similar events in Thailand?
Yeah, it just looks dumb. America looks very dumb at the moment, and Trump is a manifestation of the subconscious of the people itself. You manifested him, it's your problem, and you'll get rid of him like a cancer. And come November, he'll be gone. It's just a manifestation of what they were really thinking. It's just come out now. You know, you should be glad that Trump's happened, because now it's like a spot that finally gets to the surface. It'll be gone soon. It'll dry up like an old mole.
I hope you're right.
You know what I mean? I'm just, you manifested him, not you directly, but
right.
Americans manifested him. It's like anything, but he'll be gone, and I think it's, it's been an age-old thing, and it's tired. It's tired now. It's time to move on.
Indeed. So what's next for Goldie?
Sorry for yawning. It's really awful of me. It's really bad, but I have
oh
to
my
go
gosh!
soon.
If you've been up since 5 a.m., I totally understand. Yeah. This is my last question.
Okay.
So what's next for Goldie, Metalhead? Is there anything else you want to add or promote?
Oh God, it's insane. I mean, there's 8 artist albums ready to go. I mean, it's insane.
So what's for retiring?
Grey Gold Face. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I know. It's crazy, right? I know. It's just insane. I'm trying my best and I can't. The Metalhead's 25 albums insane. I mean, I don't know. I just got to throw, I can't even throw the towel in yet. But it's been great speaking to you.
You too. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful night.
I hope this does something for you in some way. And God bless you, my dear. And thank you for being a Metalhead fan.
Always. Have a great night.
God bless you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.